Sagittarius, something massive is about to happen. You're going to be rich, and not just in money, but in adventure, wisdom, and profound truth and divine alignment. From December 14th to 16th, the gates of limitless possibility are opening exclusively for you. Can you feel it? You didn't land here by chance. That's not how spirit works. The universe has been whispering to your soul, and today it called you here to hear this message. There's a reason you've been feeling stirred, emotional, or maybe even overwhelmed. What's coming for you is not small. It's not random. It's a divine contract finally being activated, a contract your soul agreed to long before this lifetime. Right now, powerful cosmic forces are aligning in your favor. Jupiter, your ruling planet, forms a rare, expansive trine, with your sun casting a spotlight on your philosophical destiny. The waning moon in Pisces is illuminating your ninth house of higher learning, truth, and freedom. Venus, the planet of attraction, is entering Capricorn, building a stable channel through which abundance for your greatest quest can now flow directly into your life. And it's not just about cash. It's about feeling truly free, validated in your wisdom, and limitless in your potential. You, Sagittarius, have carried the weight of others' expectations. You've waited in silence while others were celebrated. You've been endlessly searching for the next horizon in ways few can understand. But now, the tide is turning. Picture this moment as arriving at the summit after years of relentless climbing. The pressure ends here. The test is over. The revelation is ready. This is a moment for you to claim without hesitation. This is the moment when resources begin rushing in. This is when soul contracts unlock and activate. This is when what was promised becomes physical. And yes, I know that may feel too good to be true. You may still carry disappointment, fear, or the wounds of unfulfilled hope. That's okay, but you must remember this. God never forgets a soul that remains faithful in the dark. What you thought was rejection was actually redirection. You are being preserved for something greater than your past could ever hold. As written in John 8, verse 32, "Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." This is not metaphor, this is prophecy made personal. This is your verse, Sagittarius. So I invite you not to hustle, not to strive, but to surrender with sacred authority. Let your spirit open like a gate and say yes, yes to the flow, yes to the shift, yes to the breakthrough. Not just financial, but philosophical and eternal. You've been chosen to receive. Your only task now is to be willing. If these words resonate deep within, if your body feels a spark, or your heart pounds a little faster, that is your confirmation. Leave a comment below and say, "I accept the truth, the abundance, and the freedom the universe is pouring into my life." Let that be your declaration of readiness. Thank you for being here. Every like, every comment, and every subscription plants another seed in this sacred garden. We're growing together at Cosmic Treasure. You are not alone, you are seen, you are supported. And trust me, Sagittarius, you will want to stay with me until the very last second of today's message, because what the universe is revealing next is nothing short of extraordinary. Are you ready? Let's begin, Sagittarius. After hearing the call and the introduction that soul contracts are activating and wealth is rushing in, it's only natural that your spirit feels both awakened and slightly hesitant. What you are sensing now is the stirring of cosmic truth, because the moment we realize we've come to the gate of transformation, everything within us must choose, resist it or rise to meet it. This astrological moment is not ordinary, it's rare. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, miracles, and financial blessing, forms a trine with your natal sun, creating a dynamic flow between who you've been and what you're about to receive. A trine is never passive. It inspires, it propels, it says, "Are you willing to expand into the boundless truth you were born to embody?" When Jupiter flows with your sun, it does not knock politely. It bursts open the door to your deeper worth. And when you answer, abundance doesn't just enter, it floods. At the same time, the waning moon in Pisces touches the ninth house of your chart, the domain of spiritual wisdom, foreign lands, and self-liberation. A waning moon isn't about acquiring more. It's about releasing what no longer aligns with your infinite potential. Old beliefs about settling scarcity and limited adventure, they rise up now not to haunt you but to be healed. This lunar alignment is tender but powerful. It invites you to say, I no longer have to prove my value. I simply have to own my freedom. And when that inner freedom stabilizes, the outer world reflects it not as a reward for hustle, but as a mirror of inner alignment. Then comes Venus, the planet of attraction and luxury, moving into grounded Capricorn, a sign of structure, commitment, and long-term results. Venus in Capricorn doesn't deliver sudden windfalls without roots. She honors discipline. She pours abundance through consistency. She doesn't ask if you want fast cash. She asks, are you ready to sustain true freedom emotionally and materially over the long haul? When she arrives here, she activates what I often call the receiving channels in your energetic body, but only if your intentions are clear and placed, you're aligned with what you claim to want. So when we say, you've arrived at the gate of light, we mean it in the deepest way possible. These cosmic forces, Jupiter's expansion, Pisces, Moon's surrender, Venus's maturing, they don't just brush past your chart. They form a triangle of initiation. They are the spiritual signatures of reward, responsibility, and rebirth. But you must be present to pass through the door. You must know it's your name on the invitation. In the language of spiritual energy, this moment could be likened to walking up to the back vault of the universe. Not the front desk, where everyone queues for blessings, but the private door reserved for those whose hearts have stayed, faithful through delay. And this is where the law of attraction reveals its deeper dimension, because the universe is not on a timer. It is not waiting for you to do more. It is waiting for you to be ready. Ready as in energetically aligned. Ready as in emotionally open. Ready as in deeply convinced I am worthy now. What you're receiving is not just a material shift. It's a metaphysical permission slip. It says, you may now thrive. But like all great thresholds, it requires something from you in return. Your courage, your clarity, your commitment. This is not about asking louder, it's about receiving quieter. You've already done the waiting. You've already endured the dark. So now I ask you, Sagittarius, are you ready to step into what has always been yours? Are you ready to unlock the vault? If so, declare it, anchor it in language. Write in the comments right now, I am ready for the gate of freedom to open from December 14 to 16. Let it be known to yourself, to the universe, to this community, because the act of speaking it gives it life. The act of writing, it gives it shape, and the act of believing it, that gives it power. You have not come this far to turn back. You've arrived because the light ahead finally matches the weight you've carried, and it is time to cross Sagittarius. After stepping through the gate of cosmic alignment, you now find yourself standing in front of the sacred mirror that tarot holds up to your life. These cards are not just tools, they're reflections of the energetic contracts your soul has already signed, now being illuminated under the divine spotlight of timing. When we pull a card, we are not asking for something new to be granted. We are asking to see what's already on its way. And right now, what's coming for you is written in golden ink. The first card, the Wheel of Fortune, spins into your field with a message so potent it almost pulses. It says the tide is turning, the cycle is shifting, but this is not luck in the shallow sense. This is divine recalibration. This is your energy finally aligning with the abundance that has always been coded into your destiny, but was waiting on your belief to unlock. Just as the planets turn and open financial gateways in your chart, the wheel confirms the gate is not only open, it's moving. This card whispers of sudden changes, unpredictable blessings, the kind of moment when the phone rings, the email arrives, the yes finally breaks through the wall of no. But it also reminds you that the wheel turns best when you stop clinging to the edge. Trust the motion. Trust the reordering. Trust that what's spinning in now is not chaos, it's currency. Then comes the Empress, the card of abundance, but more than that, the embodiment of generative power. She is not chasing money. She's creating wisdom that generates wealth. She is not asking permission. She is birthing results through grace, not force. When the Empress shows up in a financial reading, it often points to wealth that flows from within, creative gifts, intuitive alignment, ideas that generate impact and income without burnout. It's a reminder that your money does not have to come from struggle. Your abundance does not have to echo your past. You can be well-resourced because you are well-rooted. Her appearance suggests that your income may begin to grow from something you've nurtured quietly, a passion, a vision, a message, and that the more care you give your creativity, the more it will care for you in return. Your voice, your art, your business idea, your presence, it holds weight. The Empress says, "Stop underestimating the power of what only you can bring into the world." Finally, the Ten of Pentacles, the culmination, the promise. This is the card of legacy contracts, long-term stability, and generational blessings. If the wheel says things will change, and the Empress says your power is the key, the Ten of Pentacles is the result. A life of freedom and security built not just for you, but for those who come after you. This card often signals inheritances, not just material, but energetic. You may be stepping into the results of choices made long ago, or perhaps stepping up as the one who breaks cycles and builds new ones. It can also point to legal settlements, property matters, family alignments, and long-awaited business milestones finally reaching completion. Together, these three cards form a progression that speaks directly to your timeline between December 14th and 16th. This isn't a maybe, this is a movement. It's a story with three acts: the shift, the power, and the result. And now let me ask you this. Have you felt lately like the story of your life is reaching a turning point, like the main character you has passed through every trial, every fire, and is now standing right before the breakthrough scene? These cards are confirmation. The plot is unfolding. The treasure is near. But here's what matters most. You still get to choose how you meet this moment. You can doubt it and delay it, or you can rise and receive. Just as the cards reveal what's possible, your decision writes the ending. So right now, I encourage you to speak your decision into the space. Type it below in the comments. Not for me, but for you. Say, "I'm ready to receive the abundance meant for me," or "The wheel has turned and I claim my blessing." Let the words anchor your reality. Because what comes next, Sagittarius, depends not on luck, but on alignment. And from where I'm standing, you're closer than you think. Sagittarius. By the time we reach this moment in your journey, there is a quiet ache that often begins to surface, a soft but persistent echo of everything you've carried in silence. All the moments you held your breath financially, all the nights you wrestled with the weight of uncertainty, all the decisions you had to make alone when no one else could see the pressure mounting beneath your calm exterior. This chapter is not just about opening doors to wealth or calling in contracts of abundance. It's about finally acknowledging that your soul has endured seasons of limitation. And now it's time to let go of the emotional residue that's been tethering you to lack of freedom. The healing we speak of here is not lofty or unreachable. It's the kind that happens in subtle shifts, when your nervous system begins to settle, when your breath slows, when the internal dialogue stops telling you you're behind. Sometimes healing doesn't shout, it whispers, and one of its first invitations is this: allow yourself to release the idea that freedom must always precede provision. You've done the surviving. Now you're being asked to do something far more vulnerable: to open, to soften, to receive. Financial trauma isn't always obvious. It doesn't always look like poverty. Sometimes it sounds like "I can't afford to rest," or "what if it all disappears tomorrow?" It lives in the way we overthink before spending, in the way we undervalue our work, in the way we delay joy because we think we have to earn it first. These patterns do not make you weak. They make you human. But once we name them, we can begin to unhook from their grip, and that, Sagittarius, is where healing begins. Imagine emotional healing like removing a thorn buried deep beneath the skin. There may be a sting as it leaves the body, but the relief that follows the spaciousness is undeniable. This is what your soul is asking for now, not to keep bracing, but to exhale, not to hold on, but to let go. You are not being punished for past decisions. You are being invited into a present that no longer echoes the pain of yesterday. There's a part of you that may still wonder if you're allowed to feel hope, if you're permitted to trust again. The answer is yes, not because everything is guaranteed, but because your heart was never meant to live in a cage, and hope, when it's grounded, is not blind optimism. It's a declaration of alignment. It says, "Despite what I've been through, I believe something better is possible." This is the perfect moment to give yourself space each morning, even for just 7 minutes, to reconnect with that belief. Sit in stillness, breathe deeply, and repeat quietly within, "I am light. I attract light. I share light." Let those words anchor you. Let them replace the fear-based mantras that the world has fed you. This is not about pretending everything is fine. It's about choosing which voice you allow to lead you, the one that expects loss or the one that remembers your worth. If this resonates, write it down in your journal or speak it into the comments where others can witness your shift. I am ready to receive the abundance that belongs to me. Let it be an act of courage, not performance. Let it be sacred, not scripted. You are not manifesting from desperation anymore. You are aligning from truth. And when truth becomes your foundation, peace and prosperity begin to move in your direction, not because you chased them, but because you finally became still enough to let them find you. Sagittarius. By now, you've begun to feel the energetic shift, not just in theory, but in your body, your breath, your choices. You've listened to the call of alignment, seen the signs in the stars, and allowed tarot to whisper the deeper story unfolding beneath the surface. But now it's time to step into the most grounded part of your transformation, the part where spiritual insight becomes lived experience. This is where soul meets strategy, and where energy meets embodiment, because as much as the cosmos can guide you, you are still the one holding the pen that writes this chapter. Let's begin with something simple but powerful. The No. 8 inches numerology. 8 is the number of power, manifestation, and karmic reward. Turned on its side, it becomes the infinity symbol, a reminder that the energy you give, you receive, that what you plant, you will one day harvest, and that true wealth is cyclical, not linear. When you are in alignment with the energy of 8, you are no longer chasing, you are becoming. This number governs not just money, but confidence, leadership, and the ability to sustain abundance without burning out. And Sagittarius, you were born to embody that kind of richness. Now look at the date, December 16th, 2025. When broken down, it becomes a 7, the number of inner truth, soul contracts, spiritual intelligence, and divine timing. Where 8 says take your power, 7 says surrender your fear. Together, these numbers invite you into what I call a sacred partnership, the agreement between your human self and your higher self. One plants the seed, the other trusts the rain will come. But here's the thing, many of us are still living from old patterns that tell us to force the outcome. We try to control every detail, we overthink, overgive, and overwork ourselves out of the very flow we're trying to enter. We hustle not because we love the work, but because we fear what happens if we stop. That fear is what blocks the very abundance we seek. The moment you believe you must earn your worth, you create a wall between yourself and the flow of provision. Receiving isn't about proving, it's about aligning, and alignment can only happen when your nervous system feels safe. So instead of doing more, I invite you to feel more. Ground your energy, regulate your rhythm. Start with your physical body. Sleep, water, and simple mineral support like magnesium are not luxuries, they are portals of peace. When your body feels cared for, your energy expands, and manifestation becomes easier, not because you tried harder, but because you became more receptive. Emotionally, begin a simple gratitude ritual each night. Not the forced kind, not the toxic positivity version. Just 3 small, true moments from the day where you felt safe, seen, or even slightly better than yesterday. Gratitude isn't about pretending things are perfect. It's about reminding your brain that you are still connected to goodness, and goodness is still available to you. Financially, look at how you spend, not from shame, but from empowerment. Sort your spending into 3 energetic zones: needs survival, desires joy, and seeds future. If you're only feeding your needs, you'll feel drained. If you only chase desires, you may feel unstable. But when you plant into the seed category, whether it's saving, investing, or learning something that multiplies, you're telling the universe, I believe in my long game. And in love, perhaps the most tender part, don't wait to be perfect to give or receive it. Don't withhold until it's safe. Let love be expressed now, not later. Let it be soft, imperfect, honest. Love is not something you earn once you've healed. It's part of how you heal. So ask yourself gently, where am I right now in the cycle? Am I planting, waiting, or ready to harvest? Leave your answer in the comments, not just for me, but for you. Speak it into reality. Say I am in the season of, and let the truth rise. There is no wrong place to be, only a wrong belief that you're behind. You're not. You're exactly where you need to be, and from here, Sagittarius, everything can grow. Sagittarius, by now you may be sensing that the universe speaks not only through words, but through the language of symbols, colors, and repeating signs that stir something deep within your intuition. These are not coincidences. They are energetic breadcrumbs gently guiding you back to alignment, confirmation, and inner knowing. In a world that often demands logic and proof, this is your reminder that your soul still listens to what your eyes may overlook. Colors especially are powerful activators. They aren't just aesthetic, they carry vibration. Every shade has a frequency, and when consciously chosen, those frequencies can open pathways to abundance, safety, and expansion. During this sacred window from December 14th to 16th, 3 colors emerge as companions on your path: sapphire blue, metallic gold, and royal purple. Sapphire blue is more than just a beautiful hue. It represents truth, trust, and spiritual expansion. When this color appears in your field, whether on clothing, in your surroundings, or in meditation, it serves as a reminder to believe in the process, even when outcomes are not yet visible. It is especially powerful when you're facing decisions that challenge your confidence. Sapphire blue tells you, your wealth is protected when it flows from integrity. Then there's gold, bright, luminous, and commanding. This isn't just the color of money. It's the energetic key to your root chakra, the center of survival, security, and physical stability. When you surround yourself with golden tones, whether through visuals, accessories, or intentional design, you are telling your nervous system, it's safe to receive. I am supported. This kind of frequency is foundational when calling in not just money, but sustainable wealth that doesn't disappear in a storm. And finally, royal purple. This is the color of inner sovereignty. It aligns you with dignity, spiritual authority, and a quiet sense of knowing that what is yours cannot be taken. It's especially resonant for those who have struggled to feel seen or validated in their worth. Purple doesn't scream, it radiates. And in doing so, it reminds you that richness is not always loud. It's rooted in higher knowledge. Beyond color, the universe often sends repeating symbols to reflect where you are in your journey. If you've been noticing 1111 on the clock, that's more than a digital timestamp. It's an energetic portal, a moment when the veil between the spiritual and physical narrows and intentions manifest faster. Seeing 1111 during this time is your cue to pause and reaffirm your vision. Say it out loud, write it down, anchor it. If 777 has been appearing in receipts, signs, license plates, know that this sequence is tied to completion and reward. It signals the end of a soul cycle and the arrival of harvest. It's the universe saying, you've done the work, now open your hands. It reminds you to stop striving and start receiving. And in the dreamscape, if you've been seeing waves, oceans, or storms, pay attention. Water often symbolizes emotion, depth, and subconscious readiness. A storm in your dream may not mean destruction. It might mean a surge of truth or knowledge is approaching so fast your logical mind cannot yet comprehend it. Don't fear the wave, let it carry you. During this time, let these signs and symbols serve as sacred confirmations. They are not here to test you. They are here to encourage you. Trust them. Lean into them, and don't keep these revelations to yourself. Declare them, integrate them. One of the most powerful ways to do this is to use these colors and signs intentionally. Wear them, place them near your workspace, let them guide your journaling, use them as your phone wallpaper. Make them part of your everyday environment so your subconscious continues to affirm, I am surrounded by abundance. And if you feel it already beginning to shift within you, say it aloud or type it below, I activate abundance through sacred color and divine signs. Let this become your daily agreement with the energy that is now rushing toward you, Sagittarius. The universe is not asking you to chase magic, it's asking you to recognize it when it appears, and now it's appearing everywhere. Sagittarius, in the quiet, after the storm, in the soft echo of everything you've heard and felt today, you're left with a sacred choice, not a decision you need to strive for, prove, or earn, but one you get to embody. You can choose to receive. You can choose to welcome the cosmic treasure that has always been yours, not because you fought for it, but because you remembered you were already aligned with it. You were never meant to chase what was divinely assigned to you. You were only meant to be ready when it arrived. These past moments of reflection, of truth, of resonance, were not meant to overwhelm you. They were meant to activate you, to invite you back to the part of yourself that still dares to hope, that still believes in a love that lasts, a breakthrough, that surprises, a provision that doesn't require burnout to feel deserved. You're standing now at the edge of something sacred, the 3 golden days of opportunity, December 14th, 15th, and 16th. And whether you feel fully prepared or still in the process of becoming, the gates of prosperity are open not to the most perfect, but to the most present. You have the power to step through. You don't need to hustle for your worth anymore. You don't need to rehearse your pain to prove you've suffered enough to earn a miracle. Abundance does not arrive because you beg for it. It arrives because you align with it. And alignment begins with a simple, powerful decision. I say yes. Yes to wealth that feels safe. Yes to timing that no longer delays. Yes to a future that doesn't echo the fear of the past. So I ask you now, gently but clearly, what would change in your life if you fully believed that the treasure was already in motion? How would you move differently, speak differently, breathe differently? Who would you become if you stopped, waiting for permission, and simply started preparing for fulfillment? You don't need to answer with certainty. You just need to begin the conversation. Write it in your journal, whisper it into your prayers, or comment below and declare it with power. I no longer reject the blessings. I open the door to receive the great adventure. Don't let your breakthrough pass in silence. Don't keep it locked behind your fear. Let it breathe. Let it be spoken. Let it ripple out to others who need to know it's possible for them too. Share this video if it stirred something in you, not for the numbers, but for the energy it plants. Every share is a seed. Every like is a spark. Every comment is an invitation for others to say yes too. And if you've made it this far, if you've stayed with me through each part of this journey, I want you to know how much your presence here means. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for trusting this sacred space. Thank you for believing in more. Thank you for being part of the cosmic treasure. You are not alone. You are not late. You are not forgotten. And I can't wait to see you again. Not just for the next message, but to hear your story. The story of how your freedom arrived. The story of how you rose up and claimed it. Until then, keep your heart open, your soul ready, your light burning, because the treasure isn't coming, Sagittarius. It's already here.